Yo, what's going on, guys? Deadly Wolf here, back with another video. Today, it's gonna be more or less just it's not necessarily gonna be a informational video. We're gonna put something informational in it for you guys, for Duneville. But the main part of this video is going to be me saying thank you, guys, for the love and support on all of the videos. We did just hit 300 subscribers, and I know I say it all the time in the live streams, but like I never thought I'd actually, you know, hit that point where it's like, yo, people actually love watching this, which it's mind blowing to me. But I would just like to say, like, if you guys do want to see me play other games, just let me know. I have been thinking about playing Clash Royale, like live streaming Clash Royale, as well on this channel, and also trying to branch into other games as well. So if y'all are wanting to see different, me play different games, just again, let me know in the comments, or if you guys stop in the live streams, let me know down there as well. But today, I'm just gonna be. We did show it. I showed it in the when we were doing our last live stream, when we were running the event. But I want to show you guys a set that I threw together on basically on the whim for Dune, uh, basically to run Dune. It's not gonna be like the crazy best set ever, but it's something that works, and I would say, for the most part, it is pretty affordable. Other than you know, uh, like one piece on the set, which is going to be the blood chest plate. So if you have the blood chest plate, good. If you don't, I'd recommend getting it. It's still one of the better. It's still like the best chest plate in the game as far as um, as far as we're tracking, damage wise, right? But the set that I wanted to go over is it does include the Kraken Claws, which is super nice because the Kraken Claws proc is so good. And then it's gonna have the Veil helmet. Now, as far as auction goes, at the time of the video, the Veil helmet looks like it may or may not have went up in price. I know the last time I checked it, it was at 30, around 30 mil, 35 mil. But you can see 60, yeah, see, so 35 mil, you can get a Veil Blade helmet, and some are even going close to 30 and maybe even cheaper, yeah, so less than 30, 29 mil. Um, but yeah, so you're gonna basically want the Veil helmet with the Kraken claws, and then you're gonna want the blood armor, and then you're gonna want the blood ring, and then so you'll have these two as your blood, and then you will also have the blood bracelet. Okay. Now, for the other pieces, you'll basically just want to run SB. So again, all of my gear in this video, I do have jewels on, but I did have somebody, um, I basically gave somebody this set, this exact same set to try to run Dune, and they were able to run it just fine, which is uh, how basically we put it together. I was trying to help him run, and he was like he needed a cheap set, cheap and affordable set. His budget was around 200 mil. And at the time there was a rogue chest plate for, or like a blood chest plate for 90 mil. I think it was like 98 mil or something like that. And then he had the Kraken claws already, so he literally just had to buy the the Veil Blade helmet, and then he already had the SB belt and the artifact. He just needed the pendant, and then the blood ring bracelet. And yeah, so you'll get the 3 out of 3 set bonus for the SB, 3 out of 3 set bonus with the blood, and then on top of that, you're also going to get the amazing procs from the Veil Blade helmet. Um, if you guys are not tracking, as far as every player is aware that has the Veil Blade helmet, it is the best helmet in the game for procs. Obviously, you can obviously see too, it's better than my blood. And that's just, it's not only going to be because I have my jewels on it, because you can see even if I took off, this is only 42, or sorry, 44 with the, or I guess you could say it's 45 dex, right? with the corrupted jewels on it. But you can see that this is still 148, and this one's my main awaked one. This one has elite damage on it. This is 225, and then this is my gold loot one, which it's 221, right? So you can see it already does pretty much out DPS's uh, all my blood helmet pieces without the set bonus. But obviously with armor wise, like this is probably the cheapest. The ring and the bracelet and then the blood belt would be the cheapest to buy blood wise, but you want to get the blood armor for the proc set bonus. Okay, now you can see literally I would use my chest plate that has elite damage. Obviously this zone is not elite yet, so this isn't really gonna matter, but I'll just try to show you it with like raw, as in like we don't have any jewels on here. All we have is a leech stone on the chest plate, and then we have a flawless with a goblin guard stone. But yeah, so blood, veil blade, SB, and then kraken daggers. Hey, shout out to Daymaker. He's catching a sneak peek in the video. All right, he's catching a shout out in the video. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the love and support again that you all give me in the videos. We're gonna go ahead and do a ghost party just so I can go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. But I think for a set of this a set of this gear, putting it all together and stuff like that, I think it does work very good. Like I'm not going to use any proc sets. I'm literally just going to use this set. So you can see that like once the Kraken Claws proc, it literally just does OD damage, and you get a speed boost. If you guys don't know, the Kraken daggers do give you a speed boost when they proc. You can get, where is it at? 50% stacking speed. So you get that. And then if you get that on top of the Veilblade helmet, which when it procs gives you 2.2x speed right here. You see 2.2x speed in PvE. You get these two to stack procs. You do run super fast, so you're able to clear a lot of mobs. But yeah, what I like to do is I just like to walk through, and then after the first set of mobs, I will, basically just proc my, I'll proc my dagger or my razor wire. And then once the daggers proc, everything else will proc in its path, and it literally just clears. And you can see if we're looking at the map, I've literally only left one mob, but that's literally because it just walked away from me, right? And it's just super strong. Now, when it comes to bossing, obviously, it's not going to be necessarily the best, just because you're not obviously outputting as much damage as you would if you were to do proc sets. But I will show you, and you can see, like, I even came in after, like, while all my procs were on cooldown, came in and still managed to kill this horde up here, which is super nice. But we're going to go ahead and save this set. We're just going to save it over the... We're just going to save it over this. Just going to save it as pro, because this is a pro set. No, I'm kidding. But it is a good set. We're going to do that just so I can show you what it would look like if I was to basically run through, pop Cosmic Killer off the SB, and then pop the daggers. Like, this is to say that you guys have full SB, which I'm pretty sure for the most part, most of you guys do have SB, the full set, just because it was super cheap a little while ago. Obviously, it's gone up in price a lot from the posting of this video, because they haven't had it in lockets in a while, so not a lot of people are pulling them anymore. But you can see that the weapons used to be like a mil, like 1.5 mil. Now they're all starting to make their way back up in price. See, the cheapest set of daggers, 13 mil. Still not crazy expensive if you really think about it for the set, but yeah. And then helmets, you're looking at about 28 mil, 19 mil for the chest plates. And then, like I said, not a lot of people have been pulling SB, so it's really hard to come across some of the pieces in auction now. You can see there's only one bracelet for 40 mil, for Rogue. And then the Rogue rings, you're looking at just under 30 mil, and then 30 mil for the amulet. Or that's the, these are Scions. So you, Rogues are Ravager. So 50 mil is the cheapest one in auction right now. And then if we look at the Arties, you see they're at the 24 mil. And then bracelets, yeah, they are. SB is getting pretty expensive. So if you guys missed out on buying SB when it was cheap, I do not know what to say. But yeah, so if you do have your SB and you do proc your Cosmic Killer, you can see it just does so much damage. And you don't always need to have Cosmic Killer procced with this set, which is what I found out that's super nice. You can just kind of, once you get the heals from the Kraken daggers, you just absolutely decimate everything. And then this first boss in the Dune Caves, if you guys didn't know, there is set bosses for the Dune Caves, obviously. But for this first one, he has this ability where he'll basically go into like a meditative state, and like a black circle will sit around him. And then when he's in that black circle, you don't want to attack him. The more you attack him, the more mobs he's gonna spawn, and then the more he's gonna heal. Okay. But we're gonna wait for our procs to cool down so I can kind of show you guys what like the raw damage would be like. And again, for pets, I know they're gonna be a little bit more expensive, but I am still running Gourd Weaver and I still am running Siege Part. These are the 2 eggs that I normally run with the sap, just because this is probably one of the best pet combos in the game as of right now. And if you're running an elite zone and you don't really care about the boss damage, again, you can run Moonshade, which also gives you, the Moonshade also gives you the 30% damage stacking on top of 30% non-boss damage. So you could run the Moonshade if you have it, to basically, because it's not an elite. If you guys see, it just says 30% non-boss damage. So it's not an elite zone type deal. You could still run it in elite and you'll get that 30%, but you also get 30% non-elites such as Dune Caves, right? But yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you. I'm just going to go ahead and go in, pop my abilities. I'm not going to pop my boss ability just to kind of show you guys what it looks like. You can kind of see, like, I'm doing a lot, and like, I mean a lot of damage. Like, obviously, you might not kill him in one full proc, but you know, it is what it is. But you can see he does that little circle like I was talking about. And then once he comes back up, all your stuff should pretty much be off proc. We'll just pop the pet and he will die super easy. So I haven't tested this out on fighting the skeleton guy that spawns on this floor, but I assume that it's pretty much the exact same thing when it comes to bossing. I don't think it's going to be that hard. Just because obviously once you fight him, you can't fight him again. So, but you can see even running in, I might die here, but that's because I'm pulling all of these enemies. But we're going to proc this. We're just going to pet the stun for, or pop the pet for stunning. And then we're just going to go back in and pop the Kraken daggers. And you can see it just absolutely decimates everything. And I'll show you, we'll reset these stuff right here. And then we're gonna wait for the stuff to go on cooldown, and I'm gonna show you guys how much damage it really does. We'll go ahead and pull the damage meter up. So we're just gonna walk by, because the only thing that's not procced is the ring, which isn't too much of a problem. But look, see, you just wipe everything. It's so nice. And I'm all for building new sets for you guys. If you guys want to see something get put together, let me know. But we'll go ahead and pull up the damage. You can see, just off that little like horde of enemies, there's probably what, like 8 enemies there. We're doing a total of 113 million damage. So it's super good. But yeah, like I was saying, if you guys want to see me build more sets, just let me know. I'm all for it. Super fun too as well, because you get to kind of just experiment, and it actually just makes the game like super fun. But yeah, we'll go ahead and clear out this second area just to kind of show you what it's like again, especially on a boss that has a health gate like this rock boss. I always forget his name, but yeah, he has that little like 3 health gates that you can't bypass, kind of like Hedo. And the nice thing about the Kraken daggers too is it does cool down super fast. So if you guys are ever worried about pulling an extra horde that you weren't wanting to pull or something like that, just you can see how fast it goes down. I think it's like 10 or 15 or so seconds off the cooldown. I can't remember exactly. Let's see. 12 seconds. So guaranteed proc on 15 hits, which is super nice, but it costs 12 seconds on the cooldown. So it's super fast compared to some of the other weapons. So here's another boss up here. We'll go ahead and test it out on her. You can see just once the armor procs, this is why the armor and the helmet's necessary, just because you get so much damage. And honestly, with this set though, if any of you guys are running Dune, I would recommend building this set. It just makes it, it's not gonna make you be the best player in the Dune map when you're running, but it does for sure help. And you can see I'm not really having a struggle with survivability because there's so much leech coming off the daggers. Like you get so much leech from the Kraken daggers, and honestly, ever since I've gotten the Kraken daggers, they have definitely been one of my favorite weapons in game. Just right next to the blood daggers. The blood daggers are by far my favorite, but Kraken dagger are definitely second place as far as like weapon procs and just ability to kill at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll just finish off these last 3 enemies. And again, it might take a little bit for your stuff to actually proc, but you can see like when everything procs, it's just super good. We'll go ahead and close all this up. Now I'm going to show you on this boss what it looks like when you do kind of a proc swap with the set. I'm going to hit him with the SB with the Cosmic Killer, and then I'm going to pop Pet, and then I'll pop Boss ability as well. Now, I don't necessarily think that if you do this exact setup without the jewels, I don't know if you'll be able to bypass his health gate, but you are able to bypass his second health gate if you do it right. So we're just going to wait for him to do that, and then we're going to pop this, and then you can kind of see that I passed his health gate, but he goes up there. So this one, I'm just going to wait till these, I'm going to wait till my daggers and my armor unproc, just because these enemies are kind of annoying to deal with sometimes. But we'll go ahead and do this. And then we'll just go straight back to the boss. You can see that the Kraken daggers do a great work of, the proc does a great work of just cleaning up mobs that you aren't necessarily attacking. And then again, we'll just wait for our stuff to cool down so we can actually attack him this time. All right, armor's off cooldown. Pop Cosmic Killer, pop Pet, and then we attack him after he does that little stun effect. And here he's going to go into a shield ability. He does these little pools, slams. He does 3 pools. If you all don't know his attack pattern, he does 3 pools and he'll come out of his invincible state. Now he likes to sit in that last pool a lot, so you'll just stand back until he runs out. And then give him the good old pop shot, pop Pet, and then when he does his stun attack, you get close, and you can see, just watch his health go down. Again, super easy. It's just all about learning their attack patterns. With these Duneville bosses, they're not necessarily hard, they're just annoying, and I'm pretty sure everybody else feels the exact same way. A lot of the bosses have their unskippable health gates, like the 4th boss, on the 4th floor, the girl, she likes to do that, or I think it's the 5th floor, but she likes to do that ability where she goes up into the sky, heals herself up, and then does her little one-shot attack and all that stuff. But Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they're not too bad. I think she's probably the worst one out of all 5 of the bosses. But again, if you use this set on Sandbinder Adon, I'm pretty sure you'll be just fine running through it. If any of y'all are struggling as a rogue to kill him or beat him in a battle to unlock the 3rd floor, just go ahead and try testing out this set on him. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. It is definitely way cheaper than most of the sets you'll see out here, because obviously you all know that when I'm running my damage set, I'm running a set that's probably worth a little more than what it should be, right? But just because this set is OP and it does like a ton of like one taps or does an absolute shit ton of damage, that doesn't necessarily, you don't have to be the strongest person out there. I feel like just as long as you're playing the game at your own pace and you enjoy, that you think you're killing the mobs just as fast and that's all that you need, I feel like this set right here would definitely get you there as a rogue. Now, if y'all are wanting to see me do any mage or warrior content, let me know, because I have been trying to build those characters up. I obviously don't have as much gear on those characters as I do on my rogue, but I could definitely try to get something together for you guys. So again, we're going to end the video right there. Again, thank you all for the love and support. 300 subscribers, it's amazing. Our goal is 500. Once we get there, uh, it'll be a great day. And if you all have stayed this long, I would like to just say future giveaway. I will be putting a post out sometime soon, and I will put the details out there for you guys so you all can join and enter. And I feel like that would be a fun little thing. We'll try to get a lobby where we can basically have a lobby, or we'll probably just do it at a house, and then we can get it all set up there. But yeah, I'll put more on that. I am speaking with someone on the sidelines to try to do an even bigger giveaway, but yeah, I'd love to get that started out. But again, hopefully you all did enjoy and this video was informational for you. If you did, please consider dropping a like. And if you haven't already, I would appreciate a subscribe. It only takes 2 seconds, and if you don't like my videos for some reason, but you click the subscribe button, there is a unsubscribe button. It always takes 2 seconds to click it, all right? But again, hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.